Alright. Hi guys. Today I make a video. Oh, alright. Hi guys. Today I make a. Okay. So I'll make a video on the XML plugin. I just I played with it 2 days ago, and I think it deserves a little video because it's a bit not easy to use at first. So the XML plugin is here. I will need the Ajax plugin, which is where are you? Bigger. Okay, Ajax. We'll need something to write stuff in. The text box is good for that. In text area mode, I will set a little bit of snapping. Let's see, text area here. We'll need the function object. Alright. Set up the basics, a print function to write in our text box. Text box, no, it's here. Text box, set text to self.text and the parameter function.param 0 and a new line. Rename function F for easier typing. Okay, so we basically no, we're not set up. We need a little XML file to play around with. So I will use my little Sublime Text, and I think I will use the example you can find here. Yeah, this one. It's already a well-formed XML. I will save it on my desktop in book.xml. Alright. So what can we say about XML? Basically, you have it looks like HTML. The thing you have to be aware of is that you need one single root element. You can't have two. You can't have that, for instance. A list of books. It may seem correct, but XML specification tells you need one root element, one single one. If you have an XML like that, and you won't be able to access the second book. You will just read this one with book as the root. So right, you need that. And so the basics of XML, you shouldn't use characters that are used to describe the XML syntax itself. Instead, you use the shorthand greater than and lower than, like that. Well, I invite you to read more about XML on the Wikipedia page, which is slightly easier to read than the specification. So and we, yeah, XML in a nutshell. I saved this file. I already saved it. I will load it in my file section, book.xml. Okay, it's loaded. And I first need to, when I launch Construct, I need to retrieve this file. So to do that, first we need a start of layout. We could do that anytime, but here we'll do that in start of layout. And we have to fire an AJAX request to get the file. So first, AJAX, request, and there's a specific action for project files. You could, for instance, have a PHP generated XML on your server, this and use the request URL to get the file. But the good thing about using project files is that you can preview them. To use a file on another server, you have to set up some header telling that you can do cross domain request. It's a little bit more complicated and way out of the scope of this video. So for now, request project file, we only have this one, and we say XML, a tag to identify the request. So since a request is an asynchronous event, what's the word? Mechanism, you can't instantly get the data in the same event. You have to wait a few ticks, a few frames, until the request reached the server, and then respond with the proper data. To do that in Construct2, you have to use the onComplete event with the same tag to identify the request. So it's a two. Both of these events won't trigger during the same tick. It's not. You will have a start of layout. You will request. It will do things maybe on many ticks, many frames, and then when you arrive a frame where the request is received, you will be able to fire the action. It's something you have to keep in mind when you work with AJAX. So I guess it's a bit of an AJAX tutorial. The request can fail if the file isn't on your server, or if anything happens. Sometimes the file is on the server, but the server has a little hiccup. You can do much thing about it. So it's always good to provide an error handling part in your code. Here we'll simply print error book XML wasn't received, something like that. So we'll put that. You could put it anywhere in your events, since it's a trigger. It follow order between two triggers of the same nature, but not consider other type of events. Anyway, moving on. So there's no our function, start of layout, XML complete. Okay. So that's where we want to pass our XML. We could kind of, for presentation, do a function called function pass. and call the function. Anyway, for now, let's not complicate it. When we receive data from the Ajax plugin, we receive it in one only value. It's the Ajax last data value, and we want to Ajax last data will be a string with all this inside it. Let's print it just to see. Print Ajax that last data, and we don't need that for now. Here you are. You have the entire string, which is exactly the same as oh, I closed my okay. Recent nope, recent oh, that's where it wasn't in the recent category book. That we will open this one directly. So view layout single. Okay, so the string was exactly the same here. It's a bit tiny. To have something a little bit bigger to see, we can do auto font size to no, and also we can project full screen scale. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. It's weird. No, seems okay. It's weird that it's not centered, but let's see. Letterbox scale. No, better. So okay, we have our string. Now we feed it to the XML plugin. And now we can start testing the XML plugin itself. Notice one thing, the XML plugin, let's go, it's easier to see by opening directly the edit time of the plugin. So it's in Construct2 exporter, Construct2 exporter, HTML5 and plugin and XML. Just opening this one. Edit time. So we don't care about any of that. We just want to see. Yeah. So as a condition, we only have a for each node. An action, we only have the load action we just used, and as expression, we only have 3 expressions, which are number value, string value, and node count, with a little description. You don't. I'm not sure, but I think you don't have the. Oh, maybe in the. If you can access the description, let's see. Let's use a random thing to see. Yeah, you have the description of what each of these expression does. So yeah, 3 expression, 1 action, and 1 condition only for the XML plugin to parse any XML file. It may seem a bit not much, but actually that's enough, because the XML plugin is built upon the XPath language. The XPath language looks a bit more a bit like URLs. I invite you to look through the syntax. but we'll start playing with it right now. Let's see. Let's say I want to look at the title of the first book. To do that, so I want to print the title of the first book. Print. To do that, you have to fetch a string value. You have to use the string value action of the XML, and inside it, I'm redoing the thing just to access. Oh, there's no completion. Sometimes there's a tooltip that says what to input, but here you just have to input a string, which will be the XPath of the node you want to access. You want to access bookstore book title node. So the XPath will look like book title. Let's see how it works. Take. So yeah, that worked. We got the every Italian one. If you just look at the XPath by itself, you may notice something a bit strange. Why do we get the first book? I didn't say the first, the second, we get the first book. In fact, what happens behind the scene is that this XPath, when parsed, will retrieve all the nodes that correspond to such a path, which means it will return this node, it will return this node, because they all are bookstore, book, title, bookstore, book, title, bookstore, book, title, and this one. So you have, in fact, 4 nodes. To be sure of that, I can write also not count, which is another of the three expressions we can use in Node. You can use node count, and you'll see you have 4 nodes. So this XPath gives you 4 nodes. But when you use string value, it will always give you the value of the first node of the node that respond to this XPath query. So you get the first. But now you want to specify the one you want. To do that, you just have to use brackets with an index number. Here I have the second one. Note something important is that this syntax is one based, which means if you put 0, it shouldn't do, it should fail. It should fail, yeah. One of the annoying thing with the XML plugin is that when it fails, it just output nothing. You don't get any error here, and even if you fire the console, you don't get any error, which is a shame. At least at preview time, I'd like to have a debug output saying it's wrong XPath, but I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if JavaScript output any error when the syntax is wrong. But I think it can know when the syntax doesn't output anything, and it would be a nice thing to at least in preview time to be able to output in the console JavaScript didn't like your XPath. Anyway, that's the really basic way of using an XPath. If you want to print all the title of your books, you can do a loop like that. Repeat XML that not count. You put to have the number of books, you just have to do bookstore book. Note one thing: don't do that. That will fail the XPath. You have to end your nodes without a trailing slash. So repeat here. You will get the loop index value in the loop. You can use it in the expression, but since it's one based, you have to +1 it. Here you have the 4 title of the 4 books you have in your XML. Okay, so here it's quite okay. Now I want only the books that have the category web. Why not? So you want a condition to filter your Ajax, and you want to check for a value, and the value will be you will have it via the string value action, and by inputting a query to the attribute of the node. So it will be bookstore book and loop index +1 and brackets. There you have the node, and you want the attribute of the node. So to get the attribute of the node, you have another syntax here. Where is the syntax? It's in I think axis. Yeah, attributes. And to use axis, you have to use this kind of syntax. You have the axis here. You have to put 2 columns, and then a node or an asterisk to say to not filter by node names. So here we want to check the attributes of the book node. If you put something here, it's filtered by the name of the attribute, not the node in which the attribute is in. It's a bit clunkily said. This example will check the attributes named lang. Here we want the attribute name category. Since there's only one attribute in all the book nodes, we can use the asterisk. So let's look at both attributes with an S. I don't remember. No, attribute without an S. Attribute 2 column and asterisk, and we want to check if it's equal to web. If it is, we print it. Am I right? Did I make a mistake? No, it works. You may have heard in the tone of my voice that I was quite happy that it worked, because more often than not, your XPath is easily wrong. Let's test with category, which is the name of the attribute, and should work as well. Okay, it works. So if you change your the name here for something else and you fire the same thing, it won't change anything because it's not equal to web. But let's say it's something else here. It shouldn't appear. Okay, because when you arrive the query bookstore book number 4 attribute category, it equals nothing. If you do that, for instance, you should get the last one. Yeah, because since it doesn't exist, the whole expression will return an empty string and you'll get the last one because it doesn't have a category attribute. Right, now I want any attribute, so I'll put a star and I get both. Now something you want to be wary of is, let's say I have category web and something stuff. Let's say you have that. If you do this, what do you think? Will we have both, since in the end we have an attribute with a web, or will we have just this one? The answer, I think, from what I know about how it works, we should only have the first one. Let's see if I'm right. We only have the first one. Why is that? Because the same way when you don't put any indexes in brackets for a basic query, the same way it gives you the first node of the list of nodes the query gives you. Here, when you reach the 4th book, you will have 2 attributes which will answer the query, and it will only, this action will only give you the first one. You won't be able here to iterate through the attributes. So since the first one isn't equal to web, the whole condition return false doesn't work. If I do something like brackets 2 to get the second attribute, what do you think will happen? My best bet is that this one won't work and this one will work. Yep. Learning XML here. So okay, so if you have an XML file and you're not sure about the order of the attributes, the best way to check if one of the attributes has a web, you are not sure about the name of the attribute, one of the attributes has the web, you will have to loop a second time through these ones, which can be a pain. Oh, I don't know. Here, if you just want to check for the category attribute, it should work. It works. If you want to check for any attributes, you have then to put that here. Here you will have to count the number of attributes that answer the query here. So you get this expression and you do a repeat on it doesn't like, yep, up. You do a query on the node count. So yeah, an attribute is considered by the plugin as a node. So yeah, you have that. Just to see the entire expression. Here, so you receive the XML, you do a repeat as much as you have books in your bookstore. Then you do a repeat, a loop, as much as you have attributes for each book node. And then you'll have to save the loop index first, because when you have in any loop, the loop index refers to the most inner loop. So first I will create this loop index variable, set value early to loop index, just to save it. Then we could use this one just for brevity. And then here you have to reuse it to select the book. We could even do the +1 here, just for to avoid repeating it. And then you will be able to use the new loop index you get from this inner loop here. Then you check if they're the web, and you can print the result, which should be this one. Let's see. Doesn't work. Alright, so here it's a +1. Let's see. Yep, so it was a +1 bug. So here, to sum up what happens, let's have this XML file on the side. Yep, and yeah, should be alright like that. View, no word wrap. Okay. Oh, it's a bit tough. Okay. So here what happens? We load the XML, we do a loop through our 4 books here. Then we store the loop index of the first loop. We do a query for each book, and we want to know how much attribute there is in the book node each time. Here it will be 1, 1, 1, and then 2. Then for each of these attributes here, so here the syntax is exactly the same of the query until here, the end of this query. We add a little bracket expression to select one attribute, one after the other, one single attribute each time. We check the value of the attribute, and if the value equals the web, we print the title of the book. So it's fine, it's working. It can look a little bit complex, and actually there's a way to simplify it a bit, and it's the for each. The only condition you have in the XML, the for each node, it's a way to not having to repeat each time all the path. So let's see. We will do a for each book. The XPath will be bookstore book. So the loop will loop you have with the for each node, you have also access to a loop index. So here it should do the same thing. Let's see. Okay. So it's equivalent to that, but there's a slight difference. The difference is that when you do a query, an XML XPath query inside a for each node loop, it will be a relative query from where you are in your path. So this one should also work, if I'm not wrong. It should work like that. Let's see. It doesn't work. Maybe like that. Yeah. It's a twitchy syntax. Don't put a slash when you don't need it. So yeah, you are already in the book node here. So you want the attributes. So now we should be able to use the for each as well, just with the attribute syntax, like that. Let's see if it works. It doesn't work. Let's see if it's something like that. No. So it seems that we have a little bit of a problem with our with any double for each. Loop index, it shouldn't hinder this one, but I can be wrong. Let's see. Let's assume that this was working. No, we won't assume this. We will check if it's working by counting toggle disable by printing loop index. We'll see if the loop loops. It actually loops, so it's working. It's outputting 0, 0, 0, and then 0 and 1, because it loops once, and twice. So it's working. It's just that what we are doing next doesn't work anymore. Toggle disable, toggle enable. Ah, yeah, it's the toggle disable. I have to toggle on the event and the action. So let's see. This was working earlier when we had just that. It was working when we have just that. So can we assume that even inside a loop we can reference all the... That's a word. What I'm thinking right now is that this expression shouldn't work because it should start here. But there's one thing the XML language there's one thing that is in the specification, is that the roots node should be unique. There shouldn't be a bookstore node inside in the child of any of the node in the document. So when I write bookstore, I assume the XPath parser goes back from the root. But if it's right, this should work. But that doesn't work. So... oh, no. That doesn't work. And I'm not sure why. Anyway... Anyway, let's see. Hey. No, okay. I don't know. The answer for now is I don't know. And since I have workarounds, it's not a big problem to not know that. I will check the attribute itself, and I think the correct syntax for that is this one. Let's see if toggle disable works, and I print the loop index. Okay, so it works. It's just this this one that is flawed. Just a little parenthesis and all that. You see, since the XML parser doesn't really is a bit twitchy, to say the least, you have to have this iterative process to see if everything works as expected. So I know from here it probably works as expected until this. So I'm pretty confident until this expression. So here the problem we have here is that let's see, if I'm not sure if this one will work, because it's like writing book it's like you are in this node, for example, you reach the attribute node, and can we assume that starting from an attribute node we can access the title node inside the node which contains the attribute node? I think the answer is no, and I think that won't work. What you have to do from here the root of the expression is the attribute node. The attribute node doesn't contain any title node. So you have to go back to the book node, and to do that there's, I think it's not here, but I think there's a parent, or it's not self, because self is the attribute node. I think it's parent. Let's assume that an attribute is a child of its node. So let's see if we can do parent double colon point slash title. It works. So I'm pleased to know now that an attribute is a child of its own node. Okay, so it's working. We are able to loop through all the books, loop through all the attributes in each books, check if the attribute itself equal web, and then yeah. This one is maybe the peculiar one. If you don't have the slash, it doesn't work. I believe it doesn't work. You have to put the slash for whatever reason there is. Here, from here to here, the slash is implicit, but from here to here, it's not. So we can get rid of that anyway. So it's look like something way cleaner than what we had before, and working well. Right. If we toggle this one, we should have every single both for these ones, because there is two attributes. Okay, we could also print the attribute itself, maybe self like that. Don't know. No. It's I wonder. Let's try this one. Doesn't work. But if I do that, okay, we have all our attribute values. I want to test one thing I tested 2 days ago, is that and then text. I don't know. No, doesn't work. What if I do that maybe? No. I will talk about the text thingy, which is very important in some case. But here it don't seem like it works. Well, anyway, that's the proper way of displaying an attributes node. Let's see, I want only the category. Okay, so you have it. I will start to save it in the Dropbox for you to be able to grab it at some point. No, I will save it in the C2 channel. Just call it XML in capital. Okay. So we can loop through our nodes. We can iterate from something else than the root in the node. We can compare attributes. Okay. Now let's say I want okay, I will just keep that here. I will write another function, separator, which will print a kind of dashed line. So I can call separator and remove any parameter. Single string value. Okay, so now we have something that looks weird. When you use this out of any context, I will it's something I wanted to show afterward. So okay, our loop does what we expect it to do, and then we just want to print a string value of the root node, the bookstore node. That's how you access it. You can also do bookstore. I should do the same thing. Alright, so we can say in short that slash is an alias to the current root. That's probably why this is working here. Yeah. So when you do a string value from a node, it will print every single string in himself. And by string I mean to be string node. The same way an attribute is a node in XPath language, a string is a node as well. So if I were to speak in XPath language, you have the bookstore node, which contains the book node, which has an attribute node called category with the value cooking, and the book node contains as a child. It contains as a child its attribute node, since we can access book by using parent which means category is a child, but an attribute child node, and title is let's call that an XML node, just to differentiate with the attribute node. Title is an XML node which is contained in the book node with the attribute node lang with the value en for English. Then the title node has a text node with the value everyday Italian. That's a little bit of a jungling with the nodes. So when you do a string value, you're actually asking to print string nodes. And I believe we can say that the value of category is a kind of string node. The name of the category can be maybe a string node. I don't know how far we can go with this terminology, but here you will basically print every string node. But you might not want that. You might want it, you might not want it. Here, let's use another example. Well, let's extend this example. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you want the title of your books. It's a bad example in this case, but in some case it can happen. You want the text node to be directly inside the book node. Why not? Let's see how it works. So you have the title here, and then as a child node, so you have a text node directly in your book node, and then you have author node inside. That's the basic. How do you print only the title now? If you access, let's say, if you access the first book, you will have here, you will have the entire strings you have in the node. But you don't want that, you just want this one. How do you go about that? Well, that's where the text I will call that the text function, because with the parentheses it looks like a function in programming language. So you need the text function for that. Let's see if I'm not wrong. And I'm wrong. Why it's not working, I don't know. I really don't know, because it should work. Oh, maybe I just... no, I saved it. Book... bookstore, book, text. That's when you feel a bit alone. It's not working. So my understanding of this function was probably a bit flawed. Let's see, I have to save my I've made another kpix where I was using it like that, or at least I thought I was. Let's see. It's opening. I'm not showing it to you because it will probably be the object of another video. Let's see. Node, Xbox. That's weird. That's very, very strange. String value, text. Path. Yeah, it should work. I don't understand. Let's try that one. Maybe oh, no. Maybe you already see where I'm wrong. Let's ask Google. Text XPath. I don't know. Get text in XPath. Stack Overflow. Always. Yeah, this one looks about what I want. No. When should I use? At the end of my XPath expression, you have probably seen load of the code. Should you do the same? I don't know. I don't want to read all that right now, so let's see. Little moment of solitude. That's why it's not really the video I'm making aren't really tutorials. They are more like I'm fiddling with C2 and you're watching. So I probably won't cut this part of the video. If I do, you will never hear me say that. But I probably won't, because it's a pain. And I maybe I will maybe show when to go if you don't want to wait, at which minute you have to jump. Anyway, so I will take the time to understand why it's not working. Here it's obviously working. It's working. But then if I do just text, it's not working. It's not working, it's not working. If I do something like child text, nothing. XPath. Let's see. For up until now, we didn't even find a situation where the text function was working. Let's try this one. This one works. If I do author and text, it's working. But if I do book and text, it's not working, even if there's a text. What if to do a commentary in an XML file, it's something like that. So I will comment this part, and since it looks now like that, this one, I should get the first one. Let's see, and I don't. and that's even weirder. Let's see if I put that here. Was just trying to see if the for each was doing something naughty. I will even just cancel it. Nope. The text doesn't appear. No. Sometimes I make this mistake. Just doing that, and obviously that never works. Just calling a random function, which can be used for some tricky things. Let's see, you have a list of functions in your XML, and you can somehow, well, I have some ideas around that, but it's not for now. Bookstore, books, and text. Why it's not working? First, let's see if yeah, okay. I see. The book here, I'm not modifying the right one. That's as simple as that. Open, yeah. Okay. I'm less worried. Let's use a little bit of a regular expression. Title something, title, just for the fun, and then some character, and then title, and then I want you to replace it with only what's inside the parenthesis. Replace all. Funnier to do it like that. So now, yeah, working. I save this, it's saved on this file, and then I'm selecting the text. Alright, so took a little bit of time to figure that simple thing out, but it's working now. Okay, so yeah, the text, if we can sum up the function of the text function, it's to return more the text node of the node itself and not its child. If I'm clear, if I do and here again, and I call the second book, I should have all the text node. Oh, actually I do not. So what do we deduce from that? It's that there's two text nodes, and if there's two text nodes that answer this query, I can probably access the second one like that. And no. So I'm wrong again. Ah, that's interesting. First, let's see if I got the right one. I got the right one. Save it, close it, reopen it. It won't be owned by that again. What if I do that? Okay, I get Harry Potter. Oh. I have an idea. What if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Let's test with the 5th one. Nope. That's weird. Let's see if I can do that. That's I don't think it will work. Yeah, it's a little bit wrong. So I shouldn't have. Oh, maybe that's something you can't do in I don't know. It doesn't seems like it doesn't seem like a bad formed XML form. Maybe that's the answer. But yeah, it seems I can only have the first one. And that's kind of sad. What if I have this here? Can have obviously all of it, and if I put it here, what if I want to do, I don't know, maybe I want to do some HTML-like formatting. I know B is deprecated in current HTML, but anyway, that's kind of I don't know. I don't know. Oh, another function we can try is the node function. I didn't test it really that much, but we can try to find out how it works. I think from the name of it, it should return every node of the current node. So what we can do is a simple repeat loop. Yeah, why not? I could do a for each, but for now the repeat loop I know it better, so I prefer working first with this one. Yeah, node count, and I will put an empty string just temporary to get this one back. Actually, it's this one. Tac. Copy. And I'm just I will, before that I will just print something to check. I'm going back and forth here just because I want to be sure it only gets one node here. 5 node! We are going somewhere. So I will postpone the study of the node function. The text function actually returns 5 nodes, so it isn't far from what I was thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's a bit wrong. What are those 5 nodes? 5 nodes. What if I go back to my former example and I do that? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would expect 5, but 4. 4 text nodes. So it doesn't detect this one, and it detects this node, and this node, maybe? But if there's 4 nodes, why can't string value, why can't I do this, for example? Toggle disable. Maybe it returns, maybe the text functions doesn't return a node. No, since node count nodes, this answer to this is a node, or a list of nodes. If it's a list, I should be able to iterate through it, but maybe something like that. No. Maybe self like that. Nope. Huh. What? That's super weird. This text function is really weird. Text function XPath. I'd like something to be a little bit more straightforward than what we've seen. The answer is always more interesting than the question. Yeah, we didn't get in this yet. We hadn't get in this kind of syntax, but it seems you can do conditional with the text function. That's interesting. That's interesting. Sibling widget. That's the name, attribute, and text. That's interesting. Not quite what I wanted. Let's see. I don't know, but let's see if I do this. This parenthesis, I have to serve some purpose, maybe? Nope. Nope. If I put 0, nope, 1 maybe? No, 1. Nope. So it probably takes no arguments. Text. Select all text nodes. So I was right. There's such thing as a text node of the context node. Is there a way to iterate through them? That's the real question. Position. There's a function called position. That's nothing to know. Position. What if I do all element children from? What if I do child that one? It should select the text node. GK rolling. Okay, so when I do child, the text node isn't considered as a child. That's kind of weird. It's not a child, but it's contained in it. That's where the XPath is kind of, I don't know, hard to grasp. What is what isn't really clearly defined, it seems. I've never been through all that. Maybe I should have before this video, but since I don't really prepare this video too much, it's understandable. No, the context node, a pair of non-zero expression evaluating code with respect to the primary syntax constructing expecting expression, a node set, duplicate, a boolean, true false, number for things, introduction. Okay, so it's the 4 different type you can have from an XPath. We are only using these ones, it seems. And now it's set, and this one for each. And here, incur respect context consists of a node upon the integer. Expression occurs with respect to a context. Explain to associate the context is the expression. Okay, location path. Path using the abbreviated syntax. Location, absolute location, relative location. Step, relative location, axis. Following. Let's try this one. Following. Whoa. That's that's the next node. That's the next node. Okay, so it's book 3 in short. Yeah, interesting. So as an advice, you should start with this one because it seems simpler and there's a lot of examples. But this one is a little bit more. Well, the following. For the axes, there was the closing tag of the current node. Okay. Namespace is preceding the opposite of this one. Parent namespace preceding. What if I already tested self? Let's see. So now this it seems as complete as the other one. Node test, predicates. It's quite a vast language. Let's see. Functional calls. That's probably what I want. Expression is evaluated using the function name to identify a function in the expression evaluation context function library, evaluating each of the arguments, converting each argument to the type required by the function, and finally calling the function, passing the converted argument. It is an error if the number of arguments is wrong, or if the argument can be converted to the right type. The result of the function call expression. Okay. Arguments. It's basically the same as any programming language. Basic of function. Now it's set. Booleans. Alright, numbers, string. Okay, function. Alright. We have last position count. Okay. ID, name, string, local name, string. Convert an object to a string as follow. Node set is converted to a string by returning the string value of the node, which looks a lot like our string function. And so I guess doing something like that should yield the same result. Let's see. Yep. Oh, we get the last one. That's a good thing. If you just do that, you probably get exactly the same. Yep. So it's equivalent. String concates, interesting, contains. Okay, so it's a test. Substring before, substring, round, interesting, translate. Returns P. Oh, that's funny. There's quite a lot of of things here. Kind of impressive, but I didn't find the text function. That's very weird. The node test text is true for any text node. For example, child. We'll select the node child. Oh, what if I did something like so here it returns when it gets a text node. That's what it says. It's true for any text node, and if it's true in your path, it returns the corresponding nodes in the string value expression. Children, we select the text node children of the context node, similar to the node test of the context node. So if I write child text, I get the same, but maybe I can do that. No, it comes too late, I think. It comes too late. The function should be the last one. What if I do that? Nope. What if I do that? Nope. I'm out of luck with that. Select the text node here and I can similar the node test comment is true for any comment node. Oh, that's fun. It means I will test this one. It looks like fun. The node comments can be parsed. That's what it seems to say. If I do that, blah, and I do comment, nope. Comment. Did I mean, oh, I left my my thingy here. Nope. And this one. Nope. 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 If I do that, no. If I do that, alright. And the node test comment is true for any comment node in the node. Test processing instruction is true for any processing instruction. Test literal, and a node test node is true for any node of any type whatsoever. Name node test, node type, processing instruction literal. Every axis has a principal node type. If an axis can contain elements, then the principal node type is element. Okay. Otherwise, it is the type of the node that the axis can contain. Thus, for the attribute axis, the principal node type is attribute. For the namespace axis, the principal node type is namespace. For other axes, the principal node type is element. Okie dokie. A node test that is a queue name, whatever that is true if only a type of node So the parent element children of the context node. If the context node the parent node would select an empty set of node attribute, which means that's empty set of node, which means that there's no error handling. Probably can't detect form XPath. Attribute href, select the href attribute of the context node. If the context node has no href here, it will run an empty set of node. The node test is that doesn't really tell me how to select this second one. I'm not even talking about the comment expression that doesn't work. That's still interesting, but it's a pain. Let's see if it returns anything. Node count. If it's 1, it returns a node. If it's 0, it returns nothing. Should probably use that more often. 0. So it says there's no comment node, or is it not supported by JavaScript? Or I have this weird bug again where it didn't catch my modification. Open. Open. I have it now. Okay. String value. Okay, so I can get, which is kind of fun, I can get the comment part in a... That's funny. That's kind of funny. Okay, catch my modifications. Let's go with the node count, and with both actually. I will create my XPath in a variable, and each time I will print the count and the value itself. This way we can pinpoint more easily where things are wrong or not. This way, yeah, I can initial value. Yeah, without the quotes. So I get one blog. Okay. Text. Let's try directly the for each to get all 5 nodes, whatever they are. So for each I will copy this one. I will copy this one, and if we respect the I can use XPath directly, and if I use this, it should work. Print whatever there is. Whoa. Okay. That's unexpected. XPath, child text, string value, and it prints Harry Potter. Let's print a separator for each iteration to see what is going on. It prints everything, the entire document. Okay. Why? I don't know. Probably because this kind of output, let's say, isn't a node, so it's see, since it's not a node, it can be used as a root. Maybe. So let's try something else. Let's try maybe not parent tag tag just that, nothing. So yeah, I'm down to the roots. Let's try. I will break this down a little bit. I will go first to the second. Let's try for each book. Okay, and then for each book I want to check if the child is at each text node of the child. Should look like something like that. No, like that. Okay, and then I want to print anything that is returned. Okay, so this one throw me back into the root of all evil. Very, very twitchy. I can't keep the root position. I really don't know how to iterate through all of that. I must say that I'm kind of for now, if I have something like that, I can't get this one and this one. I can only get this one. That's my problem. That's my problem. I can't find a way to. I can't find a way to just get the text part. I don't even know if it's possible, but it's an interesting question. I don't seem to have much explanation about what to do with select all text nodes. How to iterate through those text nodes is kinda not clear. Let's go back to this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that. Maybe the guy who was writing this one had a good one, so I think I'm done to read it. At the end of XPath expression, you may be wondering, should I do the same? And then drawback. There are cases in which you do want to append /text to your XPath expression to force your XQuery to consider the text value of your XPath expression. Text value. The typical case is when you want to dynamically create the value of a result element, something like this. Book title, generate this output. They use XPath to generate outputs. It's interesting. Because that's not really XPath but XQuery. But there's probably some stuff to get from it. Then you need to instruct XQuery to use the text value of the book title. Oh, shut up Windows, shut up. and what you do that's happening in text to the XPath expression. Developers use too frequently in case similar to this. For example, the data is when is not needed. If the data is typed, the type information is thrown away. Beside the possibly unnecessary type conversion, this also makes the query less type safe. It can also cause significant okay, it causes the query to fail or even produce wrong result if the element contains comment nodes. Okay. There are cases in which this is not true, but in general queries should be written so they aren't affected by comments nodes. Shut up! Okay, it makes a query more verbose than needed. Okay, doesn't really help. Doesn't really help. But it's not quite easy. So it was used in XSL. Never really used XSL. And texting. So it's used to compare text nodes. That I understand. That I understand. I'll try something I just thought about. What if I had something like text equal Harry Potter. It's weird that it's working. Where are you? 0. Let's double check Harry Potter. Child, something like that. Nope. Let's re-see how it's done. Text. Nope. Where did I saw such construct? Text contains contains text contain. Oh. Oh. It seems it should work using the brackets. Oh. Using the brackets should work. Darn it. Okay, Harry Potter should be the same as this one. Okay, this one works, but I think it was working before, I don't remember. 2 doesn't work. 3, and since we are kinda programmers, let's not iterate manually. Don't play with my nerves, you block. Okay, repeat something which will be 10 times. Why not? Why not? and print this. Cancel. Oh, let's not too repetitive. Just throw that in the XPath. Loop index plus 1 and here. Oh, we got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. I was pretty sure I tried it, but maybe not. Okay, so the answer to the question of the universe and everything is that you have, if you want to get all the text of your node, you iterate through every text node, and you check if the nodes aren't empty. Is it a good way to do it? Isn't there an easier way to do it? For now, I'm quite satisfied with the way with what we found out. So to get the last one, it's like that. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm just changing the XPath. I'm doing it wrong. Okay. Just counting. Okay. Okay. So one solution is that you know that you always have one text node, 3 non-text node, and there another text node. So it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And actually the comment node is ignored, so it's good to know. If you want to, in short, if you want to print your two parts, you have to do this. The first, and the fifth. Take puff, pif, puff, poof. The fifth. Okay. XML dot string value, etc. And the fifth. Okay. Things to notice is that it keeps the line breaks here and here. So one thing you could do is I think the line breaks come from the comment. Let's see, if I remove it, I should only have the line breaks that comes with the print function. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What the hell? Oh, I think I have an idea now how it's working. Okay, what are those weird text nodes that appear? They are these ones, I think. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 text nodes. That's what if I have something like that? Will they identify text nodes? Actually, I can modify the XML. I don't have to re-export the preview. I can just hit F5. Ah, that's interesting to know. Discovering things every day. Okay, so the line break is what create those empty. But so it's not empty text node, it's line break text nodes. What if I do? I don't care about that. Oh, let's go back to the repeat thing node. Repeat 10 times. And I want to just print non-empty text node. That's something everyone wants to do once in a while. So I want to check if this. Oh, I will do that a nicer way. We'll create the XPath and print it and compare it XPath here. Different print. Okay, let's see what outputs. Okay, I don't want not replace but toggle. I don't want that either. What's happening? Ah, 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's not an empty string. Oh, no, I'm wrong. That's why. I'm wrong. That's what I want to compare. Okay, so after all the nodes are passed, that they are empty string, that's for sure. But these ones aren't empty string. I guess they are new lines. Let's see. No, not even. So they are something, maybe spaces. Yeah, they are just one spaces. Okay. I'll put the separator here. Okay. But I think the more sure way to go about that is to do a trim, which remove any white space, any unprintable, so we can remove all the all empty strings or space or even new lines. So here we have our kind of solution. What we can do instead of repeat x times could be repeat as much as there are text nodes. So XML not count and side quotes. Okay, works decently. So that's the solution to print every text node of can even trim this one. Yes. Okay. That's a solution. You could create a function to abstract that away. So let's do that. Function get all text nodes. Okay, I will get an XPath. Okay, XPath, and I will set it to the first parameter, and then I just have to do that. So it's not a get, it's a print. It will not return all the text node, but it will print them. And we can remove all that. Can get the XPath. Okay. I will have to rework this part, but what we want to have is call function print all text nodes inside this path. Yep. And we get it here, and then we use XPath here, then text. Let's see, XPath. I can probably do that. Text, and then XPath, and then XPath again. Let's reuse as much as we can. XPath. Okay. No, I shouldn't set XPath to that, because no, not what I want. Text node path, which is text. Instead of setting XPath to that, I will set node path. Use node path and use node path. Okay, should work. Okay, it's working. I like when it's working the first time. So yeah, basically what I do here, don't care about that. So I want to print all text node inside a node, so I put the XPath in it. The function gets called. The XPath is assigned to XPath, and we put the little text function at the end, so we can count how many text nodes there is inside our node. Then node path, we use the square brackets to select one specific node in our set of nodes, and then we check if the node is empty or not. If it's empty, we ignore it. If it's not, we print it, and we on top of that we are trimming the node, so we don't have unwanted text, unwanted breaking line, new line, etc. Now the remaining question is, can we use a for each here? My best guess is no, because as we tested earlier, it seemed that when you use a text object like that, since it's a text node, and here I'm saying since, but it's kind of a hypothesis. Since the query gives you a set of text node and not a set of element node, or what I call the XML node, it probably can't be used as a root for the next XPath. So it's kinda useless to use the for each node for that. The real good thing about the for each node, if we have to keep one thing in mind, is that it allows you to shorten the XPath you use inside it. That's the primary good use. The other use is that it's slightly shorter, but not that much, than repeat XML node count. It's a bit longer than this one, but not that much. So yeah, if you can't use this for its qualities, which is changing the context, what's called the context of your XPath, you can just use repeat. It's less you know how repeat works. It's more trustful than the for each node to me, because of this root thing that we aren't really always sure. Okay, so here we have that. What am I missing? I think I will wrap up this video since it's 12 o'clock and I'm starting to get hungry. Sorry. I'm starting to get hungry. So we can, to sum up with the XML plugin, we've seen that we can access any nodes with an XPath. We can loop through a set of nodes we can select. We can select an attribute. We can select via the value of an attribute. Now there's as always there's many ways to do the same thing. Another way to do this, a shorter way to do this is actually, I think, to do it like that. Category equals web, and simple quotes for two reasons, because you're already using the not simple quotes, and you have to quote any string in the query. Let's see if it works. Oh, okay. It works. First thing you have to trust me for is it works, because you get two sets of identical answer. So you have two nodes as an answer. The only problem with that is that, since, as we said, for the use of an XPath with a non-XML type of node, with a text node, here we have an attributes node, I believe. No, it's not quite right. We don't have an attribute node. Oh, okay. Let's see if that works. Okay, we are down to the root. We go down here to the root. It doesn't keep this part as the root of your. So yeah, the for each node is super twitchy, it seems. It doesn't keep. It should, since this should give you a node. It doesn't give you an attribute node. You're selecting a book which happens to have a category attribute, which value equals web. But here it should really set a node, and it doesn't seem to work. That's super hyper strange. Self there it's working. If I use the slash, it's not working. If I use self, it's working. Whoa. So maybe we can use this knowledge to just reuse this ID here, XPath, and instead of this we might be able to use self string value loop index self and self. Let's see. Nope. Nope. That's not how it works. So let's keep our hypothesis is that this gives you a non-usable root because of a text node, and a text node probably can't be a root. Let's try this one though. Parent we'll try something a little bit different. Let's, instead of XPath, I will keep a copy of my previous one. Parent, because if the for each can, that's the thing we aren't sure, if the for each can have a text node as a root node for the XPath query it has inside it, maybe by getting the parent of the node, so going back to the book, then redoing the text thingy, maybe we can go back to... Oh, haha, it's working. No? Yes, it's working. Okay, I think I get the thing. So for each node, in the end, I'm taking back what I said. The for each node take the whatever node you the XPath returns as a root. It can be a text node, it can be an XML, an element node, an attribute node, but here we have to go back to the parent, which is book, and then redo the text function to get the text node, and then use the loop index to get the proper text node in our set of nodes. Whoa, that's quite a finding. In the end, I don't truly know how we'll really use that, but it's cool to know we can do something a bit more simpler. It's nice to know how things works in the end. Okay, so this kind of to go back to what I was saying earlier, this kind of statement is in fact I think what we call a predicate. It's a condition. It's a condition you add to your query. Here it's a book node that has a category attribute, I think. Yep. So every book are like that. I can probably just print the title by doing that. Oh, I can't. The title. Self give me, maybe it's parent then? Nope. That's weird. Oh, that's because I don't have any title anymore. Author. Yep. And give me, there's books with many authors, and gives me only the first one. Ah, it's starting to make sense. All that starts to make sense, but you probably agree that it's kinda hard. It's really, and something you may have noticed also is that there's an expression I still didn't use. It's the number value expression here. The XML number value. Why didn't I use it? Because I find it pretty useless. How to say this? This function returns an int. This function will take any node value and return an int. There's an alternative at using the node count. I don't have any more non-count, but the node count expression. Then an alternative, it's doing this number value and count using an XPath function like that, which is in fact something more like that. And trim since it returns an int, so you can have something like that, which will return 1 and 1. Yep. It counts the number of node returned by an XPath that is inside the count function, so it's doing exactly the same thing as the node count function of XML of the XML object. And you can also use a string, since in the end the number value just kind of does what is called a typecasting. It takes the value and casts it into an int. And what makes it pretty useless is that it casts it into an int, not a float. So you can't do something like I will go back to what I had. Okay, maybe you want to print the prices of the books. Prices, and you noticed they aren't integer, they are floats. They have a decimal point. So if you do this, just print the string, you will get the prices. That's okay. But then if you use the number value expression, you'll get hints, a truncated value. So it's not really workable like that. So you don't use number value for that, you use string value, and then you can eventually cast it into a float. But since I print it, it's recasted into a string. But if you want to use a number, you can do it like that. So yeah, the number value expression, you don't need it. I don't see, I'm pretty new to, not exactly new, I used XPath for some work already, but I'm pretty new to using it inside C2, and at the top of my head now, I don't really know how using number value is really useful. And I don't really know why it was designed to return ints, since it can return integer. I will even prove it to you, just for the fun. Runtime. Let's go to the number value part, and I will just change this to float, and this one to float, and this one to parse float. I'm not sure if there's a radix in parse float. Let me check that. Parse float JavaScript. Parse float, just to see string. Okay, there's no radix, so I don't need that. If I save, for no result, it can output an int. I don't really care, but if it's Internet Explorer or anything more sane than that, you can return a float. So I saved it. usually for a default installation, you can't. You have to reboot C2 for the change to apply, but with a little bit of regedit tweaking. Okay, so it's working. Regedit tweaking, I would say. I wanted to say. No, we don't know if it's working yet. Number, no floats. Thank you. So yeah, it's working. Number value is working. I will go back to the previous version. I save. I launch. And it's not working. So for now, I don't know why it was designed to return int. Maybe in some I don't know. Maybe in some browser the float version is not supported, but I don't think that's the case. So it's an open question. Anyway, I think we we got around all of this. Bloody hell, 2 hours of video. I think I will split it a bit. Darn it! I thought it was it would be a 1 hour video. So yeah, one little thing. This video was kind of going back to making videos, because we'll have University of Reddit I with Charactrix will have this awesome, already 384 people in it. That's super awesome. I recognize some of you. Some hardcore C2 users. Recognize this one. I recognize some of the nicknames I've already saw on the forum, so it's pretty cool. And there's towns I don't really know. IT develop, I know you. I've seen you in the forum. Kilobyte. Let's see. Probably missing tons of you. This one sent me a PM not long ago. Not sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's pretty nice. Tons of people. Recognize this one. This one maybe. That's so we have quite a lot of C2 forum users. It's nice. They'll probably shoot in the chat room when I will make some obvious mistakes. It will be fun. Alright, so I will wrap it up. I hope I will be able to not stretch the video too much when I will do those live. Holy hell, 2 days and 3 hours. If you reload, it should update. 20 minutes and 16 seconds, 13 seconds. Yep. It's a PHP image. you can have fun reloading constantly. Okay, so yeah, let's see, nothing. So yeah, if you want to hear me in live, in scheduled live broadcasts on basic topics, not things too strange like mimicking an array object or something like that, it will be basics, but I will try to slip some tiny tips because I like talking about more how to think than how to do things. So I hope I will be able to transmit some of the whys more than the hows. But yeah, will be a nice one. So if you're not registered yet, register. That's an order. You just have to click on that button. I'm not registered myself. That's wrong, but I can enroll anytime. So yeah, enroll. Even if you can enroll anytime, you just have to create an account and enroll. I don't enroll because it will be weird to see me in this list. But yeah, enroll, please. It's pretty motivating to see the number goes up. It goes something like 115 in 48 hours, something like that. So yeah, it was a pretty fast start. Now it's still slowing down a bit. Saddens me? No, not really. That's pretty cool. 384, still going up. And also, if you have any question, you can post them here. Oh, Gun Game, hello. I know it's 3 days. Oh, it's not sorted. Newest. So you can ask questions. It appears in my I have a RSS on that. You can ask question. Oh, I'm in private mode. That's why I'm not logged in. Weird. University, and you can also go into our subreddit in Construct2 class. Ask any question, as some already. Oh yes, that's the one I recognized. It wasn't a PM, it was a subreddit post. You can ask anything you want here or here, but here it's kind of a little bit clearer. Okay, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Okay, I think I will split this video a bit because I'm starting to speak French, the sign of insanity. I think I will split the video because it's way too long. Anyway, have a nice day. I think before the class I will try to make another video using the XML plugin to do some fun thing. But in the meantime, I hope you'll enjoy this one and come up with your own ways, own solution of using XML. Have fun, have a nice day, good night if it's the night, and bye.